Morning, guys. So today we're going to talk a little bit about shooting sports with crop sensor cameras, and more specifically Canon 70 Mark II and the Fuji X-T3. Okay, for 40 years or so I shot Canon. I'm a Canon guy. I was one of the first members of Canon Professional Services back in the 80s, and boy, I loved the camera, I loved the company, I loved everything about Canon. I got Canon jackets, a Canon mug, the whole deal. But about, I'd say last year, I started to really feel the weight a lot. I'm 65 years old, so that big sucker over there was starting to weigh me down. I got to the point where I wasn't shooting with the 300-2.8 anymore, because it really is an older one, so it's really heavy. I went to my 70 to 210, 70 to 200 with the 1.4 extender, and it was great. It worked really well. It's balanced, but honestly, it still was heavy. God, that thing is really heavy. Well, somebody else owns it right now. I'm in the process of selling this gear here. So, as many of you know, at the beginning of this year, I decided that Fuji was the way to go, because I'm transitioning more to shooting some news stuff. I don't do a lot of it anymore. In the wintertime, I tend to shoot a lot of sports just because it's easy to pick up and it doesn't take me long to do it. But I'm transitioning more to shooting landscapes and other types of things, and it doesn't require giant cameras to do it. And even though this is a smaller sensor, actually it's bigger than that one, but not by much. I must say, it's been a really big enlightening moment for me, because the difference between this beast here, which I need to use a monopod to shoot this, and this guy over here, which is like its baby brother. This is a 50 to 140 with the 1.4 extender on it, on an X-T3 with a battery pack. This battery pack carries two batteries, and there's one inside the X-T3. But as you can see, this thing is a lot lighter, a lot easier to use. I actually like this long foot on it, because it places my hand right underneath the zoom like this. If this was not here, I'd have to be a little bit different. So anyway, I've enjoyed this. I'm still getting used to the focusing system because it's different from Canon, but I'm happy with it. It hasn't been bad, and I'm gonna show you some images I shot last night at a Little League game. Me, the old man, sitting in my little chair up against the chain link fence on the inside shooting. It was interesting, but that's the way I've shot softball and baseball, the high school level, in the last, this past spring. So anyway, I'm going to show you some images on the on my laptop, and we'll go over them a little bit, and we're going to go to the laptop right now. Okay, here are the images that I shot yesterday with the Fuji X-T3, and we'll just go through them slowly. The camera worked really well. I wasn't using sports finder mode. I was just using it with the 1.4x extender. Here you can see the ball is right there, but I wish it was over here. At 11 frames a second, it would have been. This one, I would have liked to have had the kid a little bit closer to the bag, but anyway, it is what it is. Best thing about it is it's nice and clean. This one's a little bit disturbing in the background, but kid throwing the ball, usual. Kid catching the ball. Another one of the kid throwing the ball. Notice the piece of grass here. He threw that at the same time he did the ball. And I wish I could have gotten more action out of this, but the kid sliding in was blocked, so got more action out of the umpire. But as you can see, the results are not bad for this camera. The kid throwing the ball, and this kid threw a no-hitter. no, I shouldn't say no-hitter, a shutout. So here are the kids congratulating him after the game. But, you know, it really, honestly, I think the camera did a great job. And once I get better at learning how to use it, we'll see it'll be much better. So I'm going to go through and show you some of the, this is following this kid that hit a home run in the first inning. Got him, get ready to step on a home plate. But remember now, these are not getting mobbed afterwards, but unfortunately, couldn't get a good shot of it. That shot of the kid in the ball. Safe at second. As you can see, most of these are, well, that focused on the background, but as you can see, most of these, it holds focus just fine. It's not really that big of a problem. This kid dropped the ball, as you can see. Oops. Now, if this is how I would process this image, I'd go in here and put it into Photoshop, and then I'd crop it up. As you can see, it's pretty far away, but this camera holds up actually pretty good, which surprised me at first. This is a huge blow up. But you can see that it holds up pretty good. It's only a 10 meg file, but you can see that it holds up pretty well. So anyway, that's the way it looks. The Fuji X-T3 shot with the 50-140 and the 1.4 tele extender. Okay, so I'm going to show you my settings. I actually have them set in my menu here. But I go to shutter type, and I'm picking mechanical shutter. In the drive mode, I'm going to shoot at 11 frames a second. And let's go over and do, where am I set up in my AF? Okay, let's go to AF mode. I'm usually shooting in single point, not in zone. And in the custom settings, I'm usually shooting on 3 for accelerating and decelerating subject. It usually seems to work best, but who knows. And I think that is pretty much it. So that's it for this week. If you like what you saw, why don't you press the subscribe button and hit the little bell over there in the corner. Maybe you'll get a notification. We're going to try and do more of this stuff, and hope you liked it. This is Kirk Williamson, the old fat photographer. We'll talk to you next week.